Hi students, this section is on exponents and powers. So we have a few definitions here. Remember, you need to write down the title, expressions containing exponents. And then these bullet points as well, you need to write them down. So it says in an expression, for example, 4 to the 6th power, this is called a power. The number 6 represents an exponent, and the number 4 is representing a base. So the 4 here, we call that's our base. And then the 6 right here is our exponent. So an example of how this looks, when we have 4 to the 6th power, that's 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 times 4. 4 multiplied by itself 6 times. Also, grouping symbol is part of this section. Grouping symbols help know which operation to do first when there is more than one operation in an expression. Grouping symbols are represented using parentheses or brackets. So when you look at this example, you have parentheses around 3 times 4 plus 7, and this is not the same as 3 times the parentheses being around 4 plus 7. This first example, you would first multiply 4 times 3 to get 12 and add that to 7. The second example, you would add 4 plus 7 to get 3 times 11. So that's how we would look at that differently. Expressing exponents. Express the following meanings of the power in words and then write numbers or variables. So here we have a chart and we have the exponential form, how it would be with words and what the meaning is. So the first one we have here is 10 to the 1st power. Again, in words, that's 10 to the 1st power, and the meaning of that would just be 10 because 10 to the 1 is just 10. Then we have here 5 to the 3rd. So 5 to the 3rd power is the word meaning. And then what does that mean? You're multiplying 5 by itself 3 times because of my exponent 3. X to the nth power, that means we're multiplying x by itself on and on and on and on, and there's no ending because we have to the nth power. Let's look at an example here. It says evaluate. Remember, evaluate means the same thing as solve. It says evaluate the expression x to the 3rd when x equals 5. So the way you set this up is 5 to the 3rd power. What does that mean? It means multiplying 5 by itself 3 times, 5 times 5 times 5. And when we multiply this out, well, 5 times 5 is 25. 25 times 5, that's going to give me an answer of 125. Remember, I want you to show your work. Whoops. Remember, I want you to show your work, and then I'd like for you to circle the answer. Next example here, evaluate the expression when x equals 4. So here we're substituting 4 in for x. So the way we look at A here is 2 times 4 to the 3rd. So what we do here is we take 4 to the 3rd first. Think of orders of operation. So that would be 4 times 4 times 4. 4 times 4 is 16 times 4. 16 times 4 gives me 64. And we multiply that by 2 and we get an answer of 128. Now if we look at B, it looks very similar, but notice we have parentheses here, and the parentheses are around the 2x. So we have parenthesis 2x raised to the 3rd power. That means that's a little different because of those parentheses. So what that means is 2 times x, 2 times 4. We get that and then take that to the 3rd power. So 2 times 4 is 8. 8 raised to the 3rd power. So that's going to be 8 times 8 times 8. Well, 8 times 8 is 64. Whoops, sorry. 64 times 8, and that's going to give me 512, and that'll be my answer. Last example here, it says exponents are often used in formulas for area and volume. In fact, the words squared and cubed come from the formula For area, area is s squared, like side squared, and volume, v equals s cubed, or s to the third power. So with this problem, yes, you need to write this all out. It says an aquarium has the shape of a cube. Each edge is 2.5 feet long. Find the volume in cubic feet. Well, a cube, if we look at a three-dimensional figure, it's not perfect, but I think you get the idea. We have our length, our width, and our height. So our length is 2.5 feet. Our width is 2.5 and our height is 2.5. So how we'd solve this is volume equals 2.5 raised to the third power. And when we multiply that out, 2.5 times 2.5 times 2.5, our volume is going to be 15.63 feet cubed, feet to the third power. And that would be my final answer there for volume.